listening to the Daily Yogi podcast. Every weekday, I'll share timeless yogi wisdom in bite-sized relatable lessons you can apply immediately to help you expand your perspective on life. Just before 10 p.m., April 20, 2010, the Deepwater Horizon drilling platform trembled, then exploded. For 87 days, crude oil gushed from the seafloor, 200 million gallons, the largest marine oil spill in history. But the real tragedy began years before the explosion in boardrooms where executives made decisions that would poison an entire ecosystem. The warning signs were everywhere. Faulty equipment, rushed schedules, safety protocols ignored. Workers on the rig knew the blowout preventer wasn't working properly. They knew the cement job was incomplete. They knew the pressure tests were failing. Yet, the drilling continued. Why? Because stopping meant losing money. Delaying meant missing targets. Acknowledging problems meant admitting failure. The executives at BP had become slaves to their own ambition. Yogi Ramacharaka warned of this exact trap over a century ago. He distinguished between two types of ambition. The first is counterfeit, the emotion that urges a man to attain from vainglorious, selfish motives and which impels him to crush all in his path. This false ambition turns people into creatures who work for things for the sake of selfish reward and inevitably find themselves disappointed, for they are pinning their hopes on things which fail them in the hour of need. The BP executives embodied this corrupted drive. They pursued profits not as a means to serve humanity, but as ends in themselves. They sought power not to create value, but to dominate markets. They became, in Yogi Ramacharaka's words, slaves rather than masters of what they had created. The ocean paid the price. Marine life died by the millions. Coastal communities lost their livelihoods. The ecosystem that had thrived for millennia was poisoned by the pursuit of quarterly earnings. But Yogi Ramacharaka also spoke of true ambition. Work done for work's sake, in obedience to the desire to work, the craving to create. This is the ambition that builds rather than destroys, that serves rather than exploits, that creates lasting value rather than temporary gain. The difference is motive. True ambition seeks to express our highest nature. False ambition seeks to feed our lowest desires. One builds civilization, the other destroys it. When you feel the fire of ambition burning within you, ask yourself, am I working to create or to conquer? Am I serving a purpose larger than myself, or am I feeding my own ego? Am I building something that will outlast me, or am I merely accumulating things that will turn to ashes? The Gulf of Mexico, well, now the Gulf of America, still bears the scars of counterfeit ambition, the scars of false purpose, the scars of people who chose conquest over creation. Getting ahead by crushing others beneath your feet, that's not true success. True success comes from lifting yourself and others towards something greater, something worthy, something beyond money. If this episode gave you something to think about, please leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're listening. On Apple Podcasts, go to the show homepage, scroll down to the rating sections, then tap Write Review. On Spotify, go to the show homepage, tap the three dots, select Rate Show, and choose your stars. Reviews signal to the algorithm that this podcast is worth promoting and help new listeners discover the show. Thank you. Your support means a lot and goes a long way. And as always, take this reflection into the silence, and I'll see you next time.